Our final Hall of Fame recipient is punter Rick Engles, who came to TU in 1972.
Just remember thinking, he was so small at that point that, like, gosh, is this guy really, a college football player and so forth? But didn't take long, as all of us that stayed with him and were teammates through that 4-year period to see what kind of motor, what kind of competitor Rick was.
Arthur Bennett also was a kicker a year ahead of Rick Engles and asked an assistant coach about this new kicker when they signed him.
He said, oh, he's a 135-pound kid. We try to stay in good with the Tulsa public schools, and you don't have anything to worry about. 135 pounds, there's no problem there. Well, I found out the following fall when Rick showed up that out of that 135 pounds, 100 of it was a leg, because he did things with a football that I could only dream about.
It worked out as Bennett became the place kicker, and in his sophomore year, Engles became the full-time punter.
No, he was a great punter. I know that he kicked it high and far. So, I think our punting team had a lot of time to get down there on coverage.
Engles improved every year, and as a senior in 1975 had a 46.5-yard punting average, just a percentage point from being the NCAA leader. He also had kickoff duties, and as a senior set a new field goal record at TU, hitting a 49-yarder against Louisville. Beyond being a great punter,
he had some speed, and like I say, he was a good athlete, and he wanted to run the ball. He wanted to do more than just be a kicker, and FA wasn't going to let him out there and have a chance to get him hurt because he was such he was so much valuable to our team as a punter.
So Rick Engles decided, at least on a couple of occasions, to be a runner anyway. He was not afraid to take off from punting formation and try and get a first down.
I still remember him faking punts and running and laughing, running down the field because he was having so much fun running with the ball. And he did run it a few times, but he never ran it and did not make the first down.
I, for one, would say the second one was intentional. He dropped it intentionally so he could run and show that athleticism he was so proud of. But I don't know if he'll admit to that or not, but he should.
And when he wasn't punting or running, Rick Engles had one other obvious attribute.
I know he would never back down from a fight, and one time I remember in the locker room he got in a fight with a linebacker. We had to pull him apart.
We were scrimmaging at Skelly Stadium. The kickers were not to be touched. We wore a red jersey like the quarterbacks, and we had a young freshman phenom from Houston, Giles Alexander. He blocked a punt, and not only to get the football, but he got all of Rick and flattened him. And Rick bounced up off the turf and went after Giles. And I remember the coaches had to go peel Rick off of Giles, not the other way around.
That was Rick Engles, is who he was as a competitor, was that fearless and just embodied that, and it was kind of a neat thing. I think all of us loved that about him, that, even our kicker will come out and kick your butt.
Aside from the tough guy aspect, there was yet another side to Rick Engles.
And he's a good all-around guy. He's, he likes to play practical jokes on people, and especially with his golf, he likes to get that rubber snake out, and he'll put it next to the cart, and when he's playing with someone, all of a sudden somebody sees that.
Rick was a great guy, very loyal. I thought enough of him that he made a trip with me to Texas, and he ended up being the best man at my wedding.
After his All-American and All-League college career, Rick would go on to punt for the Seattle Seahawks, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Philadelphia Eagles. And now he's kicked his way into the TU Hall of Fame.
Hey Rick, I'm just really happy that you're getting inducted in the TU Hall of Fame, and so proud of you and what you've accomplished at TU and then also in the NFL as a teammate with Seattle.
I've thought about this for a long time, and I remember having Sunday dinner with you and your family, and your dad looked at me and said, I never thought the Engles family would make it this far. And I looked at him and said, Mr. Engles, what do you mean make it this far? And he goes, well, we're south of 244. They'd bought a home at like 8th Street, 2 or 3 blocks west of Delaware. And Rick, I know your mom and dad and your brother and sister that are looking down on you today, and your dad, not only did he make it to the south side, but you made it to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Rick, as your teammate, as a great lifelong friend, just want to give you the official TU salute. As you know, something I brought back, the TU Juju hat. Now it's official. Flags up, you're a Hall of Famer.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the University of Tulsa Hall of Fame, Rick Engles.